One's ready. Go!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. You have me going solo. Again, if you're not tired of it yet, you soon will be. Aaron and Trent have just basically ditched me. I am One's Ready. That's how we're doing this. But since I am One's Ready, I'd like you guys to head over to 18afitness.com. Use the promo code #1READY to get yourself a discount. Coach Edge over there is providing tailor-made programs for you, whether it's you want to go into Special Forces, Navy SEALs, Air Force Special Warfare, you're into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or you just want to get healthy. He has tailor-made programs for you based off of what your current fitness level is, what you want your fitness level to be at, or what it needs to be at, and how much time do you have. And he will tailor make a program for you. Just head over to 18afitness.com and use the promo code #1READY, and it'll get you a discount, and he'll get you all squared away with the program. I was recently reading an article because the Air Force has decided to lax, I'll say lax, maybe lax is not the right word, because that makes it sound like it's a bad thing, because I actually think that this is a positive thing. So just to be clear, I support this, but the Air Force is going to start doing or increase more of its recruitment waivers, and especially kind of with medical, and that's the medical waivers is more what this article kind of focused on, which again, you've heard us talk about. We have the Class 3 flight physical, which is kind of given to us we took it from pilots, and that because that's the physical that they go through, which from an aviator standpoint makes sense, but we're not aviators. We're jumpers, we're ground dudes, so it doesn't necessarily fit with what we need, and there needs to be some adjustments. And they have talked about creating a Air Force Special Warfare medical physical and medical requirements and so on that are tailor-made to us. I just don't know where it's at this point. As I'm sure some of you, hopefully not very many of you, but some of you probably, were ineligible for color blindness, depth perception, more than 3% curvature of the spine, other kind of medical issues, right? Maybe medications, maybe you were given ADHD medication and misdiagnosed back in the day, or because your teachers are trying to get you to sit in school when you're a freaking 5-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid, when you should be out running around, not sitting at a desk. Anyway, that's a soapbox for me. So I'll just read some of these kind of things, and it's not all encompassing, but this is kind of what they captured in this. So the Air Force has expanded its medical waiver program to include things like certain cases of asthma, which is a good thing because, if you were maybe as a kid, you were on an inhaler, but you aren't on an inhaler now and you haven't been for years, maybe like why should you be disqualified from joining the Air Force at that point? Moderate hearing loss in one ear, food allergies. Man, I am so sorry. I did not mean to cough in you guys' ear. My bad. Anyway, so the new details of the waiver criteria. Asthma waivers are available for individuals not requiring daily preventive medication and a minimal rescue inhaler use. So that alone tells you that even at that point, you still can actively have certain degrees and varying degrees of asthma and an inhaler and still be able to join. Applicants with moderate hearing impairment in one ear may qualify if the other ear meets mild hearing standards. So even with that, there's varying degrees of what is going to be allowed and what the Air Force is willing to accept. And a lot of this is like, it's not a guarantee, right? And that's why it says may or could, because it depends on the severity. It depends on what the job you're going in for. Like, these are not specific to Air Force Special Warfare. These are just Air Force standards in general. And in the past, they were very stringent on it. And, you know, maybe there's some goodness and some correctness in there for doing that. But at the same time, I also think that we have lost out on the opportunity to have some incredible airmen, soldiers, Marines, sailors, guardians to serve their country that really want to serve their country, and they couldn't because of a misdiagnosis or some mild hearing loss or something like that. Like I said at the beginning, I'm glad that this is happening, and I'm glad that we've kind of started to see the light a bit on this. And I think I don't think it's where it needs to be still, but this is a step in the right direction. And the Air Force and the DoD in general is a large moving ship, and it takes a while to get to course correct and turn a big ship like the DoD. All right, so continuing on. The program is expected to benefit approximately 600 applicants annually. In the grand scheme of things, that is not that many people. So I'm interested to see, one, where they got that number from, but two is that actually makes me kind of question the severity of some of these medical waivers. And, when they say mild hearing loss in one ear, like, how severe is that? Like, where is the bar when we start talking about mild, moderate, and severe? They're doing this to address the recruiting challenges, which you all know that we've already been very critical of the Air Force and the DoD on their recruiting numbers because they have a habit of moving the goalpost. You can't miss your numbers, or I guess you can because you did, Air Force, but you shouldn't miss your numbers, severely miss your numbers one year, and then move the goal to the left to lessen it, and then hit it, and then go, oh, look, we got 100% out of our goal. Like, that doesn't work like that. And I agree, the Air Force is too fat as it is. It needs to trim some fat. So, but I don't necessarily know that it needs to come from our recruitment numbers. It's also meant to broaden the pool of qualified applicants without compromising mission readiness. Yep, I agree with that. The Air Force has experienced a shortfall in recruitment goals in 2023, which is the first time ever since 1999. Man, that's, when you think about that, all volunteer force, right? First time since 1999. That was pre 9/11. That means post 9/11, when everybody knew that we were, going to combat, there were active deployments, very kinetic deployments, for that matter. People were still like, yeah, I absolutely want to go do this. That's pretty awesome. Success in meeting 2024 recruitment goals through measures like relaxed tattoo regulations and increased bonuses. Um, I guess I look at the tattoo regulations as kind of like the medical ones. I think they were too stringent personally. The bonuses definitely help for sure. And you want, in an economy like this too, you want to attract people into your service, into your jobs. I mean, and I would be lying if I said that I don't think that our enlistment bonuses for Air Force Special Warfare play a part. They absolutely do. And then, you've probably seen, or hopefully have seen, the selective retention bonus episode that we released. That also incentivizes people to stay in. The money, though, is not why people do it. It is not why I did it, Trent did it, or Aaron did it, and the rest of the folks did it. We did it because we love the job and we love the people around us, and we love the experiences that we got to have. The money's a bonus for sure, and you need the money, right? Because you got to get transportation, you got to eat, you got to travel, you got to have a family and support a family and all that kind of stuff. But that money cannot be the only reason that you do it. But it helps. The signing bonuses help, the retention bonuses help. So, and then from the commander of Air Force Air Force Recruiting Service, he said, by expanding waiver criteria for manageable health conditions we can access a wider pool of qualified applicants without compromising mission readiness. Completely agree. Again, I wish I had that chart. There was a chart that I saw, and it was from Air Force Recruiting Service that had, 335 million Americans, of which, it was almost kind of like a Venn diagram, of which X amount are adults, because the rest are children. And then the age demographic was 17 through 42, I think, that are eligible to enlist. And it just starts boiling down. And it was, out of the American population, I think it was like less than 1% of the pool of people that we were trying to recruit from. Like, and that was due to criminal records, health issues, drug use, people just not interested in joining. So all of this is to try and help that, and I think it's a good thing. I really do. I think we need to relook at some other stuff. Beards are a hot topic right now. So maybe beards needs to be revisited, folks. Just saying, Air Force leadership. And I can totally, from my point of view, I can play both sides of the beard thing. But maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. So anyway, appreciate everybody joining us. Don't forget to head over to ONESREADY.com. Get yourself a shirt, some merch. You can get one of these Magic Mike Dresden shirts, flags. We've got other stuff there. Support the channel and all that kind of good stuff. And then make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're not. A lot of you are watching, but you're not subscribed. And it's just, you probably don't realize it because YouTube is feeding it to you in your algorithm. But subscribing and then hitting that notification bell. And then if you got a chance, leave us a review, leave us a comment down there. Tell me if you think that this is a terrible idea for the Air Force to do, or maybe my beard looks awful. You can tell me that too. I'm still working on it, still coming in. This is about 7 days in, so we'll see how it goes. All right, we're out here. Thanks for your time.